Hello everybody, thank you so much for coming. Today we're going to jump in and talk about the most actionable predictions for 2024 you've ever heard. No fluff, no BS, absolute precision. Yesterday, no fluff, I did my recap of 2023 predictions. I do this every year. I used to do it for myself, now I do it for the public. And I hold myself accountable if I'm wrong. And some of them are extremely precise predictions. So let's go. Thank you all for joining. And this will be a fun one. And this will also help you prepare for 2024. And it's going to be a good year for so many reasons as well. So let's, first of all, anything I say here is just a crystal ball prediction, not financial advice. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to get smarter. And if you imagine this being a crystal ball, think of last year I was 80% correct. I'm wondering, can I beat it this year? But this year I'm even more precise with actual numbers. So it's going to be very easy to check me down the line. So let's go. Let's start. And again, I want to be very precise here this year. No waffle, no fluff. And some of the predictions may be offensive to some. Sorry if that's the case. So first of all, as well, critical, this assumes no black swans, no global thermonuclear war, no terrible things happening like a C-19, etc. It just assumes they're going to keep on rocking along like we did in 2023. All right, let's start with the beginning. Very simple. Global liquidity will smash $100 trillion in 2024. Very convinced of that, and that will float all boats. In fact, if anybody's interested, I'm working on a separate correlation model that looks at Bitcoin price with global liquidity and see exactly the impact of how $100 trillion would impact the Bitcoin price. But there's so many other factors right now as well. And in the past, remember, Bitcoin wasn't as scarce. So that's number one. And I'm going to lose count in a minute too. So I'm just going to make sure everybody can hear me. Thank you so much to the legal department and as well Jimmy Neal and all the team from all over the world. Second, the total crypto market cap will hit $4 trillion in 2024. All right, this is based on our layer model, and it's very, very precise. This will take us to 4 trillion, maybe even higher. And remember as well, the bull market will not be over in 2024. It's going to continue on into 2025. How far? We're not sure, but I'm just predicting 2024 right now. So as you go through all of this, it doesn't mean my predictions are the end of the line for the asset as we go forward. Next, I do believe over 10 Bitcoin spot ETFs will hit the US market, many of which will happen in early 2024, which will be big. Not only is it big for the money flow into what is the hardest asset in the world, but also the fact that these funds will start marketing Bitcoin and their ETF. So for the first time ever, Bitcoin will be wholesale marketed to individuals all around the world at the same time. Pretty stunning. In addition, I do believe Bitcoin will break $80,000 in the year 2024. The Bitcoin price surge will continue. Many analysts are calling, 100,000, 250K, etc. next year. But I like to be more conservative. I like to sandbag. I don't want any disappointed people here next year. But that's a doubling from where we are now. And remember, that will not be the end of the line. We're going to go from there. And it could very easily go a lot further than 80K. But I just want to draw that line in the sand and saying we're going to hit that, which means we're also going to break a new all-time high. In addition, MicroStrategy, as a result of that, will break $1,000. Remember, you could have bought MicroStrategy a year ago for $150, $160, $170, $190 for the longest time. It was sub $200, and it nearly hit $700 yesterday. But right now it's about $630, I think. And that is going to break $1,000, which would be crazy. And a lot of people think because the ETF is going to come out, it's going to make MicroStrategy redundant. No, it won't, because of their financial jujitsu. In addition, now they're big news too. ETH spot ETFs will be approved in 2024. And this is some of the list of some of the players: VanEck, ARC21, Hashdex, Grayscale, Invesco, iShares, and Fidelity. They are all waiting in the wings. Once Bitcoin is approved, I think within 90 days, these ETH spot ETFs could be approved too, which will drive ETH up as well. And therefore, I predict Ethereum will break out above $4,000 in 2024. It will have that strong breakout, potentially going higher, and they have some upgrades coming as well, and a lot of other growth. But that money coming in from the big institutions will definitely help as they go forward. So that's Ethereum. In addition, I do believe Solana, it's already had the most incredible year, going from $8 to nearly 130 in a short window of time. It took a bit of a breather now. It's trading about 106 as we speak, but I do believe it'll hit 251 in 2024. And again, all of these are very precise, specific indications from our layer model, and that layer model is always pretty accurate. So we'll see. 251, a lot of people think it could go a lot higher, but I think that's an easy get for Solana. Also, Solana TVL will hit $8 billion in 2024, another prediction, because, and it's only a tiny amount right now, it's about 1.4 billion. I think it's going to do a 6x, because they have so many dApps that are driving so much DeFi, which will drive TVL as we go forward. So watch this space. I still believe in that black hole theory. In addition, DEX volume, I do believe, will break new all-time highs in 2024. We'll see what happens, because centralized exchanges are dwindling. Centralized exchanges are expensive. They're slow. They're full of friction. And I think the world is just going to go DEX as much as they possibly can. And therefore, I do believe we'll break an new all-time high in DEX volume next year. And in 2025, even higher again. In addition, the DeFi sector, all things decentralized finance, will continue to grow another 50% in 2024. There are so many new innovative projects, so much more increased adoption by both retail and, for the first time ever, institutional investors. They are doing things like tokenization of the world and RWA, real world assets, being brought to blockchain. And this will lead to huge increased demand for DeFi tokens and much higher valuations as well. Again, everything is just going to go up in 2024. In addition, another thing going up, stablecoin market cap, I do believe, will smash $180 billion in 2024. That's up a lot from where it is right now. There's a lot of stuff happening in the stablecoin market, including the rollout of things like the Euro stablecoin on Solana. That's going to drive a lot of adoption too. So it's not just the dollar, it's going to be other currencies too that are jumping on the stablecoin bandwagon, which will bring the total stablecoin market cap up above $180 billion. In addition, there's a lot of other stuff happening related to all things Bitcoin and the halving, but this will all drive a lot of Bitcoin adoption, and that is good. So we have the Bitcoin halving scheduled for April 19th, April 17th, April 14th, 2024. I'm not sure the exact day. And the cut of the reward for mining will reduce the supply and increase the price. That's just what happens. We'll get more regulations too, more regulatory clarity. That'll bring in institutional investors as well. And governments worldwide are actively developing frameworks as well for cryptocurrencies. We have a ton of macro tailwinds. Inflation is going down. Interest rates will be cut. And that will all bring about a much better macro environment. Also, there's a whole bunch of crypto advancements and technological advancements too, with layer 2 scaling solutions, better dApps, better, cheaper, faster transactions, even for Bitcoin and other chains, that will make it much more relevant and much more useful every single day, driving up new avenues for adoption, which will drive Metcalfe's law, which will drive up the value of the whole network. Then we have ETF approvals, which drive institutional interest. Then we have Bitcoin marketing, as I mentioned at the beginning, and a ton of institutional FOMO. But what this is going to bring is just a whole bunch of money into the space, all hitting at the same time, and it's going to be very exciting. In addition, S&P 500, my target for 2024 is level 8 on Lilo. That'll take us to 5,234 points on the S&P 500, which is a big stretch from where it is right now. But again, it'll continue to trundle up. But there's more to this than meets the eye, because we all know the whole S&P 500 was carried by the Magnificent Seven. Brings me to my next prediction. The number one asset in the Magnificent Seven in the year 2024 will be Tesla. They will smoke the rest, I do believe. And it's also the amount of value that this business has across all the different lines is staggering. And Wall Street has yet to figure it out. Slowly, they're beginning to figure it out, but not quite yet. In addition, my price target for Tesla in 2024 is that it'll break $403. Remember as well, they have had the best selling car on earth this year. The year isn't even over yet, but I know it's 1.25 million units of a thing called the Model Y from Tesla that has taken over the world, all countries in the world, and it's a pure BEV with no sales, no marketing, no advertising. This shows you how powerful this product is, how good this product is. Even with all the Elon haters, this thing still sells like a hotcake, and they're only just beginning as well. There's going to be a new version of the Model Y coming out middle of next year. They got the new version of the Model 3. Who knows? Model Y and Model 3 will probably be number 1 or number 2 next year, I anticipate too. But that's just on the pricing of Tesla. Now, a little bit of other macro news. I do believe the Treasury mortgage spread between mortgage rates and the 10-year Treasury will fall to 180 basis points. We'll see, it's very high right now, but that will also drive a lot of other factors too, which we'll talk about. The global interest rates will fall 75 to 100 basis points all around the world. Places like UK, Australia, United States, Canada, New Zealand, Germany, etc. This will bring down rates, which will drive a lot of other factors too, not just stock markets, but also the real estate market will recover. I predict as well that there'll be a lot more new home listings in 2024 than there was over the last 2 years. And that's because lower mortgage rates will help people time the market better and to take their houses to market that they couldn't sell before because they were either locked into a very low mortgage rate or they wouldn't be able to find a buyer that could afford the current mortgage rate. So they waited. So it's once the rates start coming down next year, there'll be a glut of properties hitting the market, which actually could depress prices a little bit, but only short term as well, because there's an awful lot of pent up demand as well. Thank you so much, Sir Winston. In addition, I see global real estate rebounding a lot, recovering to new all-time highs around the world as rates fall and global liquidity goes up and the global economy is showing signs of getting stronger with a predicted global growth of about 3.2% in 2024, according to the IMF, if you can trust those guys. But this will be a boon for the real estate market, and a stronger economy generally leads to a higher increase for demand for property, and everything will go up as well. In addition, my top 3 asset classes for next year should be top 4. 2 are kind of related. One is crypto, both Bitcoin and other crypto assets. Then I have crypto proxies like MicroStrategy and other types of funds for the crypto assets and Bitcoin miners. You can bundle them in together. Stephen Weston, thank you so much. And then the third category is artificial intelligence. They will be the top performing sectors of next year. My portfolio is entirely built around these 3 or 4 categories, entirely from A to Z. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is, that these will be the top performers. Forget your consumer goods, forget your financials and your healthcare and everything else. This is what will perform best next year. And by the way, just in case you don't know already, Tesla, I believe, is the top AI company on the planet. In addition, other market catalysts. Money printing will float all boats. As we know, there'll be lower interest rates. There's an election year in the US, which also brings about a lot of positivity and money. There's Bitcoin halving, the crypto bull run, economic recovery, real estate market recovery. Some of these things, they're all kind of interrelated, but I have to call them out distinctly as to why I'm so bullish on 2024, even though 2023 was a mind-melting year. So let's go. I also continue to believe my thesis all along, if there's an ETH killer, it's this. I do believe Solana will continue to be the black hole sun, as I call it. It'll just suck everything in. In fact, I've been astounded by the pace at which this has happened so far this year, and that will continue. But there's a lot more. I do also believe that the winning alt, which is Solana, will outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I've also positioned myself for that too. In addition, DePIN, which is driven, coincidentally, a lot by Solana, and the Solana ecosystem will continue to explode. 2024 will drive a lot more adoption of DePIN. There's the decentralization of resources, stands for decentralized physical infrastructure networks, if I'm not mistaken. And also, there's another word as well called decomp, which is decentralized compute. That's things like utilizing infrastructure on a blockchain for players like Akash, Helium, Hivemapper, Render, you name it. It's all happening, and the adoption is crazy. This also will float all those tokens in the Solana ecosystem, as well as the mothership Solana itself. The only player that has this. But there's something else that I do believe in too. There will be a move towards niche modular blockchains. So in the past, it was like monolithic blockchains that were kind of generic and you can kind of do it all. But now, with the advent of things like Celestia, you'll be able to build out a very specific blockchain to cater to a very specific niche. And Fern Dougie, thank you so much. And this will really eat away at some of the older chains, because some of the older chains are only there because they got 2 or 3 things that actually kind of sort of work. But now Celestia enables the empowerment of these modular blockchains to take away those specific niche blockchain use cases. And as a result of that, I also believe the ghost chains will continue to wither away, but not die, because many of them just keep on issuing tokens to stay alive. That's their lifeblood. Therefore, they need to be pumped and dumped on retail all the time. I've noticed as well the level of toxicity with the bag holders for ghost chains is going through the roof. These people are very upset, and well, what are you going to do? But anyway, ghost chains will continue to become more prevalent. They'll be eaten alive by the black hole sun and by modular blockchains like Celestia. And that is just what's happening. We're seeing all the data to support that as we speak. In addition, this guy will continue to be a fool in 2024. In fact, it just came out today that he said Bitcoin should be banned. And now his bank, JP Morgan, has been named as an authorized participant on BlackRock's ETF application, the biggest name in global fund management. I hope people got that. I don't know what type of psyop this guy is, but I believe he'll continue to be a fool in 2024. Well done. In addition, I got some super precise predictions right now. These are my long shots. You know, you always have to push yourself, stretch yourself for things that are kind of crazy, but hey, why not? I'm in the mood, and last year's score was good, so I decided to stretch myself even further. So please take these with a big bucket of salt. First of all, I do believe a Solana's future, not futures ETF, not a spot ETF, will launch in late 2024. This has to happen only if Gary Gensler is out of office. If he's evicted from his job, his post, whatever you want to call it, it's a long shot. But because of the adoption of the black hole, there'll be no choice but to put the futures ETF in place, which is the precursor to a spot ETF. The big institutions can't come in unless they can hedge their risks, so they need futures first, spot second, as we saw with Bitcoin, as we saw with Ethereum, and that's probably what's going to happen. Next one. This is kind of an interesting one. I'm missing one. I am missing one. Where did that go? Well, that's very annoying. It was the fact that it was about Pyth and Chainlink. I remember the exact numbers, but it's missing here in an illustration, and I'll tweet it later. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll share it on Patreon. And it'll be in the Substack as well. Every single video, every slide is always summarized in their Substack too. But I don't know where it disappeared. But I did the math, did a calculation. I believe that Pyth will make up 1/3 of the market cap of Chainlink, which will take it to $3 billion, which is a 6x from here, which will take the Pyth price up to $1.80. That's, again, a really stretched target. And then the other thing, it's so weird that disappeared. It'll turn up later. Sometimes a slide gets dropped, deleted. And this one is kind of my last one of my 30 predictions. And that is, I hope in 2024, another stretch target, that truth becomes more plentiful, truth from governments, from media outlets, from big food, from big pharma, from Wall Street, as we saw our friend here, ban Bitcoin, yet be helping with the Bitcoin ETF for BlackRock. Yeah, you guys decide. Also, who else is dishonest to us? Wall Street analysts, you name it, so on. I'm hoping they'll become, truth will be more widely accepted in the world, and people will believe less that comes out from all of these sources. It's all coordinated and it's all not honest. So that is kind of like my every year got a little hopium one. Fingers crossed, but it can't get any worse than it is right now. So conclusion, everybody, it's going to be a great year. And another fun observation too as well. This is from Acrobat and the community. Tomorrow is technically 123, 12/31, 2023, which I thought was a very nice pattern. I think that's kind of cool. And also, this year will be great because may the 4th be with you. That is the 4th Bitcoin halving, which is quite special too. So I hope you enjoy the show. Make 2024 the best year ever. Within Patreon, 2023 was already the best year ever, but hopefully we will beat those results as well. And a big thank you to the 4,000 people watching live. This took me weeks and weeks to put together. It's not a one-day operation. And hang on a second. I do have that slide. Let me see if I can pop it up, because I do want to let you know. There it is. Thank you so much to the moderators here. Are just unbelievable. I screw up, I lose a slide, but here it is. We got it, and I will share it because this is one of my super precise predictions. I looked at the relative market cap of Chainlink today. It's $9.16 billion. The Pyth network market cap is $500 million, and I do believe Pyth has the potential to make up 1/3 of the Chainlink market cap. That's $3 billion, and that would mean the Pyth price goes to $1.80. So it's again, it's a bit of hopium. Pyth hasn't done very well over the last couple of weeks, but Chainlink and Oracles and Pyth are going to be very much required for all of the stuff I'm talking about, all the DeFi that's happening, all of the tokenization of the world and real world assets and TradFi coming into DeFi and tokenization of everything. These two companies will be the major underpinning, but Pyth has some technological advantages that are required for this new world too. So thank you so much. We found that one. May the 4th halving be with you. I don't remember the exact number of days, but it's about 100 days away. And the spot ETF is like 10 days away, 12 days away. And it's going to be very exciting. So thank you all for coming. Appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you to the moderators in chat for getting me that slide last minute. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Hit the like on the way out. Bye-bye.